Yo, what's the fucking crack? This is the second video of my anti-content, long-formed, one-take shit show where I just talk and show you some art I made. This is my third time making this one. First time I didn't record. Second time I was 1 minute till the end and my computer ran out of memory. Which had no idea I was nearly out of memory, so there you go. So attempt number 3. Yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm going to rant about some artwork I made. I made it this morning. On a Monday, I usually try to just make some artwork and make some sort of like post for Instagram with it. So yeah, without further ado, I think we'll just get started with this one. Let's start talking about it. So with this piece, I honestly just opened up Blender and just got started. I didn't really have an idea for anything at all. I was just looking at my default sphere with a cross bashed into it. Although I did remember this time I'm going to actually show you how my shaders, because last time I didn't have the shaders in there. So you should be able to see my shader node set up. At this point I did have a small idea in my head that I wanted to do another piece that was kind of like Yoji Shinkawa, the insanely talented artist for the Metal Gear Solid concept art and also box art and a lot of their stuff. Really does so much of their work. And I did a piece that was a homage / inspired by him, heavily inspired. Like, I wouldn't say these pieces are original, these are just for fun, you know. I wouldn't say they're really my style or anything. I did one recently and posted it on Instagram. People liked it, so I thought, you know, I think I have some more stuff to learn by making some more artwork, like recalling how he makes it and like what it looks like in my head. I didn't use any references. I just tried to just go with the flow. Here I pulled up a model using Human Gen, and it had a pose that was like a guy holding a gun, which is absolutely perfect for doing some sort of Metal Gear Solid art, right? You know, it's all very military focused. And I just thought, yeah, this is perfect. So I think I could probably work with something like this. Now, the human that I brought in as an asset, I am not using him as the final piece. He's basically like, I pulled in a reference. I'm using him as like a reference. At the start here, this was the idea, to use him as a reference for me creating these paint strokes. So this is something I've been doing a lot recently that I love, is that I get like a plane and I cut loads of holes in it like this, and then I just press O and it's like O in edit mode and smooth it and smooth it and smooth it out until it just has all these clean rips. And then what I do is I turn on proportional editing, which is basically like, it uses like a radius of effect, area of effect, to when you move something, it moves everything around with it, so you can like kind of drag things naturally. And I'm using that to basically, like, you'll see here, like kind of like use it to twist and turn things around, so I can kind of make like a 3D brush stroke, as if it was in like 3D space, like that. And you'll see it there, basically what I was trying to do. So I tried to make a brush stroke because all of Yoji's stuff, I think he uses ink, and he uses like that Japanese kind of calligraphy style that's like beautiful stuff, you know. So I thought, let's try to do that as if it was in 3D. We'll make a brush stroke and then we'll use that exact brush stroke over and over and over again to build up around a reference, so we can have some sort of form that the strokes can live inside. You can see here I'm just placing these fake brush strokes all around the 3D model. As I said, I'm just using them as like a guideline for where I'm going to place these. You'll see soon enough that this method just didn't work. Oh, Steam Deck downloaded. I wanted to treat myself, so after this third attempt, I'm playing Metal Gear Solid on my Steam Deck. Just as a little treat. I'm quite excited because, to be honest, I don't remember any of the story because I played all the shit as a kid, so I think it'll be a lot more enjoyable as an adult. So here is where things turned for me with this project. So as you can see back there, I turned the model off. You couldn't fucking make anything out. It looked like an absolute mess. So I got the brush strokes. And what I'm doing now is I'm using a shrink wrap. See how when I move around, it's stuck to the body of this reference model. So it's like I got the paint strokes and I just fucking slapped them on his back and they're stuck on there like a sticker. And I'm basically doing like paper mache, something I used to do with my mum all the time when I was a kid. I used to do paper mache. You get a balloon, you put strips on it, and then it gets hard, and then you pop the balloon, and then afterwards you're just left with a structure that was like formed around the balloon, right? It's like so the original thing that you're forming it around disappears, but the shapes that you stick on it are now support themselves and they're like their own thing. So you can see here I'm just pulling this the exact same brush stroke over and around. I'm turning it, twisting it, making it smaller, making it bigger. Just trying to make it highlight the most important parts of the model, like fingers, the elbows, the shoulders, getting the form outline. So we're just messing around here, pulling things around and all of that. As you can see this time also I'm talking into a sock. Last time there was a few S&Ps that were pretty like poppy on the mic. This sock, Copenhagen sock. Copenhagen is a festival that my brother brings me to every year, and I go with my friends from Ireland, and it's fucking sick. This year we saw like Loathe and Kublai Khan, Bring Me the Horizon, lots of amazing bands. There was so many, honestly. And then, here I am just throwing on a eye. Some sort of like place where I can focus people to look at the head, right? Some piece of detail, so you'd be like, okay, that looks like some sensor which would be on the head of this ninja inspired soldier. So just basically making that out of a cylinder, going into edit mode, messing the shape up a little bit, and now I'm going into the shaders and just trying to like add some shaders to the brush strokes as well, so I can see what the form looks like in an actual render. So we switch the cycles back there. Putting some light onto the character. Now the light you're seeing there with all the glow and everything is using a plugin called, I forget what it's called. Oh, Glare by Chrome Labs, and it's really good, but I think I turned it off for this piece because it just wasn't really fitting for me this time. It was just too much, so I took it off. But it is a really good plugin. You should definitely check it out. I used a lot on other stuff, but for a flat painted style, I don't think it works very well. This is something new that I do. I used to use like 10 lights. Now I'm only using 2 to 3. One main light, which is doing 90% of the work. Tiny little area light that's underneath it, that's closer, that highlights shape and form. And then I will use like maybe a rim light on the back of that. A rim light is like a light from behind that to just show more of the shape of something. Which I add one more rim light, you'll see in a minute. And here we go. And that just adds a little bit more contrast to the character and the background. So I'm pretty happy with it at this point. It's looking like a character made completely out of like 3D brush strokes, which is exactly what I was aiming for. But he did not come with a gun in his hand. So I'm using Blender Kit, which I use a lot. Not so much in commissions, but like for these short concept art Instagram posts that I just really love making stuff quickly and having fun and not getting too caught up in the details. That kind of stuff I like to bring in models. I always edit them or fuck with them in some way. This time I tried to add a P90, which is like shout out Metal Gear Solid 2. That gun was all over Metal Gear Solid 2, and I think that's why I love it so much, but I went with an assault rifle instead. The idea with the gun was to just bring it in and leave it as it was, and like maybe tweak it and add my own little bits, but I think it contrasted with the painted look like way too much. Like you can see that that's just totally solid, and the guy is like wispy. So instead of it all feeling like a painting, now the character feels like a ghost and the gun feels like it's in real life, and I think that wasn't what I was going for. So you'll see soon, after I'm repositioning the hands to fit onto the gun, I will do the exact same process that I did with the entire body with the brush strokes and put it all over the gun as well, so that it fits into the same world, you know. I don't know if you heard that chirp there, that's my little dog, and he's the reason why there's a sock on my mic. I used to have an actual foam guard, and he was a puppy and he ate it, so yeah, shout out to Frank, who's asleep and having puppy dreams. One day he'll be on one of these episodes, but I don't want to force it. So one time, if he ever wants to get up, sometimes he sits on my lap when I'm working. If he does, then we'll get to have the Frank reveal. So yeah, here I'm just merging the gun and doing what I said I'd do, where I'm going to pull the brush strokes and form and shape them all over the gun so that they fit in the same style. Now, Metal Gear Solid is like, man, I fucking go way back with these games. I used to play them a lot with my friend Aaron, one of like my oldest friend pretty much. Love that guy. And we used to be little skaters, and we'd play Final Fantasy games and we'd play Metal Gear Solid games, and that is basically all we would play. He was a bit more into Metal Gear Solid than I was, but with time I got super into it. It's just the artwork just pulled me right in. Story pulled me in. It was way above my head as a kid, but it was just a fun world to be inside of, you know. And I remember as well there was like some skateboarding level or mod or something in the game, and we were looking for it for ages, but back then it was so hard to get information on anything. I think we just never actually got to experience the like Metal Gear Solid skateboarding. I don't know if that was in 1 or 2, but there was some level or VR mission where you could do that. But yeah, it was a good ass time, man. Just playing fucking old Metal Gear Solid games and just hanging out. At this point, I'm just adding some contrast between the gun and the character, because with a thing where I'm using very abstract shapes, if they don't have a color difference, they're going to look like the exact same thing, right? They're going to just merge into each other. So I'm just messing with different colors here, seeing what kind of contrasts I can get. The nice thing is, with the reflectiveness and lighting of the 3D environment, it actually makes the brush strokes lighter where there would be highlights, like as if you painted it by default. So that's really cool. Here I'm adding another one of these sensors that's like where the eye is, but I'm using it as like a laser scope on the gun, just so it's again differentiating the gun from the body. So the light should pull you towards, the red light should pull you towards where the sensor is, and then you'll see the barrel and be like, oh, that's a gun. Also added a few more of these sensors around the eye because I wanted to differentiate it from the gun itself, so it's somewhat different. And the way you put more detail in places, the more it'll attract people's eyes to that position. Here I'm deleting some of these brush strokes just because I want it to look like it's wisping away or fading away, and then I'm adding some brush strokes to the legs because I was thinking this might not be the final camera angle. I might find a cooler camera angle to render the final piece, so I might as well just do the whole figure. In the end I didn't. I just went with the pose I liked the best. And here you'll see me making some brush strokes, but using the brush strokes not with the shrink wrap modifier, so it's not getting stuck onto the model, and I'm making them darker to like stand out, and I'm trying to here emulate brush strokes that went off like too far out, so they're like being pulled off the character and also giving some sort of like motion to the character as well, right? Like it's like if I give some wispy lines this way, then it'll look like he's like moving in that kind of direction. So they kind of double as like a motion a sense of motion and human error, our stylistic choice in the artwork. At this point, I mean, it's basically done. I'm adding like a laser to come from the laser pointer, like just adding some emission and some red glow to the line. That way it will sell the idea that this is like a weapon that's on target, or is like, you know, some high precision weapon. To be honest, that's it for this one. That took me about 40 minutes, and then I spent 40 minutes in Photoshop, which I will not be showing the process for Photoshop in this video, for the reasons I said last time. I recently watched a video by Kenny Beats about gatekeeping, and I agreed with a lot of what he said. Some parts I kind of mean like it's nice to show some of your process, but I want to leave out the parts that I think you can find your own style with. Because my artwork, when it's, let's say, the render I make in Blender versus the finished product, they look super different. And I think that a lot of where my style comes from is in Photoshop and not the 3D render itself. So all I can say is go into, after you make your render in Blender, and it looks as good as you can make it, go into Photoshop and start stacking layers, start messing with parts, cutting them out, adding different filters, and just having fun and messing around with it. Like, I feel like that's where you'll probably learn the most about making your own style and messing around. Even though this isn't my style, this is a tribute to Yoji's work and just me having fun, like I'm trying to do on a Monday, you know, trying to just enjoy the process. Along with these videos as well, I'm not trying to, like, this isn't a tutorial, this is me talking shit along to my artwork, so people can have something a bit longer to enjoy, you know. And that's about it, really. I think I've flashed up the images on screen. You can, you know, have a look at them. Let me know what you think of this video style. I let this one run 50% longer than the last one, I believe, because I want to like gradually make them longer, you know. I had some more talking points to go over in this video. I wrote like a minute before I started, I wrote these points on here. I didn't get around to all of them, and that's fine because they're not super important anyways, but I might make the videos longer in the future, so that way I can like talk a bit more about everything. But for now, thanks so much for checking out this video again. It's been really nice making these, and yeah, peace out. See you later.